June 1st, 2021. How's it going, guys? Got another video for you. Hold on just a second. What we're going to talk about today is this energy, the biokinetic energy, and or what they call chi, or it's named by a whole bunch of different names, basically. Just how you want to look at it. But what you're looking at here are several Reiki symbols, okay? Two of them at the top actually are master, pretty much, male and female. Another one is a directional, a couple of them are directional. And the last one is a very good symbol in itself. Now these have to be done in a certain way, in sequence, actually, in practice. And should be used for healing. And pretty much, I mean, that's what they're supposed to be used for. But a lot of people in these groups do other bad things with them, which isn't good. And what I was going to show you guys real quick, yeah, it takes a while to learn all these symbols. And there's lots of books out there you can buy or go to the library, or I'm sure you probably can get online now and get them too and stuff. And it's something, if you're wanting to learn more about it without, like I say, having to go to any kind of group or anything, that's the best place to learn it from at first. And some place like, like I said, like EE Arts, that actually are honest and open, like I say, I wouldn't be afraid at all to go to one of them. But I don't know of any place here in Kansas City, and I'm actually honest about that. There is no place here that there's too many groups that are corrupted here in this area. And I actually went a couple times to a Reiki group. It was over on the Kansas side, more of an elite group. And I remember when this is when I was first learning about all this energy too. And I said I was, going to learn a lot of different symbols and stuff like that. And this one gal, she thought I was just funny. Well, I don't think I think I'm funny anymore. The thing of it is because they want to try to control everything and everybody and pull this energy. You know what I'm saying? So it's not good. So these are good symbols to learn. And there's like first, second, and third degree. And that's what some of these stand for, actually. But there's one that can defeat evil pretty much altogether. And then you don't matter if you're talking about a shaman. It doesn't matter who you talk to about all this, or even a Reiki master. And we'll talk about that in a minute in the end here. But people need to understand something and know something about all this. So hold on, guys. Okay, I'm back. I'm putting my phone up here so I can you guys can see me. Hopefully I'm halfway in the right perspective here. So we're going to talk about this a little bit, just a little bit, like I say. And you have to learn breathing exercises. And, we don't actually over here in America breathe the correct way. I mean, over there, on the other side over there, they actually breathe in. And when you breathe in, you're actually breathing in into your stomach and pushing out is the way they do it. And that's how this energy has to be learned, how to kind of make it flow. Okay? Now the books will tell you that. Like I say, if you go to like an energy healing book, or like I say Reiki books, get into that and look at that. Really important. But when you start messing with this energy a little bit, learning about it, the energy between, like, okay, well, let's talk about your fingers here for a second. And what you can do, you can actually just think of one of your fingers. So we'll take, say, these fingers right here for example. Think about taking, and this is not even actually about breathing, but just taking that energy and jumping it, just like an arc from, say, two wires going back and forth. and pushing that energy and then coming back again. Now, as you get better with this, you can actually cycle this energy, meaning that if you took this energy, say from your thumb, and went to your top of your other thumb and ran it around. Now, I would say at first, if you're just starting out, start on the bottom palms of your hands, because that is an easier part. I can actually take this energy and I can run it from here, basically over to this one, and then jump it back again to this one, and then back again to this one, and back again to this one. Then I can start to the top and come back up on the top side. And that's how you get to the point where you can move this energy around. Now, it does take a while, and it takes a lot of practice. Then it becomes more of also being able to use also open, making sure all your chakras are open, and using your third eye and above. You don't actually have to always throw from your third eye. I mean, everybody always talks about that too. There are levels. There's big debates on that. And even Teal Swan has talked about this, of how high those levels are. And just think of like a laser beam of light coming out of you, okay? And you could stop right here, say right above you here, and throw that out. That is possible. Now let me explain something. Once you get good at doing this, what then you can do is think about it like this, bouncing this energy. You could take, say, the energy from your arm and actually throw it out, back and forth, which is more like, if you think, you know, telepathic-wise, telepathy-wise, being able to throw that energy out. And that's how you do that. It takes a while, but it can be done. And if you're diligent, it's not that hard to do. And depending, I still say this has to do with DNA. It depends on your DNA structure. Now, we're going to talk about things that these groups and bad things they do. Now, they throw bad things that they like to pull people's energy. Has anybody ever been in a line, say like, say you're in a grocery line, and you felt like something was crawling on your neck or your head or something? Well, somebody could be actually throwing that energy out, okay, at you, and then connecting with you to pull your energy, and you don't even know that. People don't understand how all this works. Lots of them do. They think they do. Even the ones in the groups think that they know it all, but they don't. I'll guarantee you that, because like I say, I've had to deal with certain ones of them, and like I say, there was a lot down, say, at Isle of Capri Casino, and there's a mix down there complete between, I mean, there is Masons, there's voodoo, there's witchcraft, there's even government people down there that actually, remote viewers that go down there, and they all mess with it. And there's more stories I can tell you about all that down the line. But the thing of it is, people don't understand all this. And at first, when you first start with this energy, these groups right off the bat try to grab the people that have their energy activated, and which isn't good, because they're wanting to use it for bad stuff. Like I said, if you get in a group, I was in a oneness group, you hold hands together, you do breathing exercises and breathe in and out, getting that energy moving. Now, they didn't do nothing bad, the oneness group that night I was in there, because they were just showing. But like I say, there are groups that do bad things, definitely so. And you need to understand how to protect yourself with crystals and stones too. Now, if you don't understand that, no crystal or stone can even help you. And that's another thing that you also have to learn about. A lot of people don't explain that. I mean, you can go into all these different metaphysic YouTube videos, and there's a couple ladies also that do it. I can't remember exactly their names, but God, I can't remember what that one was. But I'll get it out there to you guys. So, but they actually talk about the crystals and but they never go into great detail about all this. And you have to understand it's all connected together. But getting back to about this, also there's other ways that they can also do bad things too. Now, ERs, like I said, They pretty much probably seen it all. They're healers. And I mean, that's what this energy was supposed to be used for, healing, pretty much. But that ain't what this has been. It's being used too for control, manipulation, and everything else. And it's been used that way for a long time. So that's another thing that people need to understand about all of this. But one night I was down there at Isle of Capri, and basically there was these, I'll just put it this way, there was a couple, okay, and they threw the energy out at me, trying to hit me with this energy, okay, and they hit me with this energy. But what they didn't count on is my DNA structure itself. And the thing of it is, there's some of them that will throw it basically at your, kind of like at your stomach. They do go for your lymphs too and stuff, because you know they can disrupt your system so it's not functioning properly when they hit you with this energy, and they try to cause tears, rips, stuff like that, and then you have to be able to repair that. Well, when they did that, and I came back that night, I mean, it didn't really do any damage, but it hurt some, a little bit. And in my mind, like I say, I have a lot of crystals and stones here. For some reason, it just popped in my head what stones and crystals I needed to use to heal that. And it didn't take no time at all to do it. It's almost like our DNA. Some of us, some even the very high up psychics and empaths and stuff have talked about this. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this before, but it's almost like we're kind of like a computer, like we've been programmed, like it's in our DNA structure. And they talk about how they, hooking basically like chips into us and putting in. We don't need chips in us. We don't need those things in us, because I can explain something to you right now. We already have that information in us. It's blocked. Now, not blocked like if your chakras were blocked, but it's turned off because there are things that, we'll just put it this way, that some of the ancient ones did not want people tampering with, because already look what they've done. And there's so many bad groups and so many bad things out there in general. And that's some of the problem too. But anyway, interesting stuff, guys. And like I say, one other thing, as you increase your energy, I mean, basically you can actually feel stuff more around you. I noticed E.E. Art said that his wife, he probably figures that she's probably maybe 1 of 10 in the world that has that kind of ability about talking, or not talking, excuse me, being able to communicate actually kind of way with people from the afterlife and all that. I believe we all have different gifts with this, our lineage from our DNA structure. Okay, guys? And everybody is different. Kind of think of it like the X-Men. They're all different. We all have different abilities. And to take those abilities to new heights, you have to ascend. And you can't do that by going the bad way. It won't work in the end. So what I was going to say too, another thing, like I say, you can take this energy, and once you get to the point where you can throw this around like this and that, you can actually take. I was down, one other thing. One night I was down there at a Mirror Star, and this one guy come up, and he thought he was going to shock me, so he gave me like a fist, like this, and he actually used the energy trying to push it into me. Now, the Qigong bunch are real notorious for coming up and touching you all the time. They like to touch you and poke with the fingers and try to do bad things. Now, but I'm not. The thing of it is, here in Kansas City, they've been labeled. They're labeled that way because they do bad things here. I don't believe all people that practice Qigong, or the ones that actual practitioners, are bad. But here you go again. It's the other ones that are doing bad things. And see, that's the problem with all this. And that's what, nobody never stands up. Nobody never talks about any of this stuff. And that's the problem about all of it. I was trying to think of what else here. One other thing you can do. When your energy begins to get higher and stuff, and you can actually feel, basically, I can take my hand and I can run it across here. And I can actually feel if anybody has a blockage or anything. Okay. And my son sometimes say, like I said, when we've had some space weather come in stuff, I've actually been able to feel that. You know, like if he's having problems with some of that stuff. I mean, everybody's different. So, but that's what they actually use for the chakras, to be able, if there's a blockage, to be able to feel if there's a blockage and be able to correct that, get that flowing again. I can do that. I know EE Arts, when they did their 40-minute video today, it reminded me of something that he said that, like I say, I went to a Qigong meeting here, and there was a guy that came in here. He went by the Arkansas Alien, is what he went by. He was working with a guy from Los Alamos that actually worked on basically the atomic bomb. And they were working on a machine to be able to excel this energy, actually be able to increase it from the human body even further, because they thought they could maybe use it for good, to maybe stop something like an asteroid or whatever coming in. And he said that the government actually confiscated their equipment, is what was told about this. But the problem of it is some of the groups, some of these groups and stuff, some of the women that was controlling at this Qigong like group deal were bad, and they were wanting to use it for bad things, and that's not good. But the guy, I think he was legit. I think he was true. I don't think he was a bad guy whatsoever. But getting on with this, when he was doing healing that night, and when he basically first did one of the healings, I actually, my energy went through the roof. And what I mean by that, after that, I could feel every person that he healed. Now, I was with another lady that was that had been at the Oneness group, and I believe she was from India, and a real nice lady. But like I say, the problem of this is that not everybody can be trusted, because they're mixed with all the other groups, and they all bunch together, and that becomes a big problem, very big problem. But anyway, I asked her, I said, can you feel his energy when he throws it out? And she said, no. And see, now this is your first interpretation when you're first learning about this. It's like, well, I mean, here she's from India, and you'd think, well, you think about all the other different places and stuff like that, and China and Tibet and all the rest and everything. You think, well, that it would be more of their lineage too, but not. It still has to do where our lineage is coming from, the very beginning, and that's going to make the difference. So, like I say, and that does make a difference, but they won't tell you that. That's one thing they're not going to tell you. Now, she, like I said, she told me that she had to really work it every day. She had to work the energy every day to do it, but she had been doing it since she was a small child. Okay, I mean, since like a little girl. And I found that, I thought, well, whoa, So there's a lot that it's truth out there, and then there's a lot that's not truth, and people need to be aware about that. And that's the whole thing. Now that this kind of gets off the subject real quick for a second, but like that Gina Marie and her YouTube, like I said, I'm not affiliated with any other YouTube, not EE Arts, not Gina Marie, none of them whatsoever. But she captured something in her videos, guys, and it was real. And I'm not going to say what that is right now, but it was real. And you guys are wrong if you think she's wrong. That's all I'm going to say on that. But thing of it is, this energy, all of them are controlled, all of them are grouped up. I don't want to be in a group. I mean, EE Arts, you hear them talk about them, and all these other ones. Who wants to be controlled in groups? But who wants to be fed on too with this energy? Okay, and it just isn't, like I say. And I do believe one thing I wish EE Arts would talk about too, and I don't know how much detail I'd go into, but another thing would be interesting is about this energy. There are different types of this energy from the DNA, and we have different mixtures in us, definitely, definitely in us. And I mean, I'll give you an example real quick. Now, there's some people that can't handle about this energy. Once they come into it, they can't understand it. They don't want to talk about it. They don't. And in a witchcraft deal one night, there was this gentleman. And these women actually thought they thought he had him convinced that he was kind of like Merlin using a crystal. Now, I know how crazy that sounds, but this was up north of the river, and it was like this guy, he was going around with his crystal around everybody and stuff like that, but he actually believed something like that. Now, when this stuff activated, mine, like I say, I was always psychic, but I knew that the ability was there, and I won't go in detail about that, but something had already activated it. Oneness really didn't. Oneness probably thinks they activated all my energy, but they didn't activate all my energy, because there had been something that had happened before. And actually, basically, I actually had been hurt at one time, and I had to have, basically, I'll just go with this right now. I had to have some electrical stimulation on a part of my body, and that is actually what actually activated that. And I knew it was real, but I just didn't know what it was all about at the time. And that is something too, because this is, you know, it's electrical, it's magnetic, it's a little bit of everything, guys. But interesting stuff. Like I say, there are crystals and stones to protect yourself. My whole deal is, I don't do nothing or try to do nothing to nobody, and I expect them to leave me alone, and they don't. And the thing of it is, when they throw energy out, energy will be returned back if it's thrown out or if it's pulled. But like I said, the thing of it is, originally when we come out of the oneness group, you know, we wondered why it felt like something was crawling our neck, or it felt like somebody was stinging us like a bee or a wasp or something. Well, that's what they were doing. They won't tell you that, guys. I'm telling you that. I haven't heard E.E. Arts talk about it. I haven't heard Teal Swan talk about it. You know, there you go. But, you know, no, because all this stuff is all intertwined and connected. But, like I say, E.E. Arts, they do shoot the straight stuff. I like that. Teal Swan, I think she shoots the straight stuff pretty much most of the time. I don't see nothing wrong with her channel, and I think it's straightforward on all of it. But, like I say, then there's other ones out there. There used to be another lady who used to do pretty good. It was called Kelly in the Raw. She did pretty good stuff too. She was a character and a half. But the thing of it is, guys, I mean, you have to understand, you cannot get higher with this energy if you're doing bad things. You can. Let me explain one other thing real quick too. This energy, one thing it's bad, I will say, about this energy, okay? And one bad thing about this energy is one thing, is that when you first are activated, and they know, you know it, if you're trying to do something good with it, and you don't have a manual to look at, you don't have nobody to tell you, but see, they're not going to tell you anyway, because they're going to pull your energy anyways, if they're in bad groups. And if the groups are bad, you ain't going to, you're pretty much, you ain't going to be able to, you're just really done for in the beginning. But the thing of it is, like I say, I don't know how to even go into detail about these things like that, but you have to understand, you need to go towards the better side, good side. Like I say, they do feed off people. They do use it to feed off people, and thinking that they can use this energy for more bad things. And there are a lot of groups out there like that. A lot of groups out there. But then you must learn also how to defend yourself and protect yourself from this energy, you know, too. And that's what you learn as you go. But it can take a long time. I'm talking about something that's been over 11 years on now. 11 years is a long time, guys. So it takes a little while to learn all this stuff. So, thing of it is, and you know what the one thing, and I'll just cut this short for right now, is there's one thing that can defeat all evil. And almost any of your healers, all your shaman, and that's love, but not false love, true love. And that's where we're going to, hold on just a second. See that bottom symbol down there? That's a good symbol. And we'll just leave it at that. As you guys do some research on that stuff. But like I say, and then of course then you have your also groups, your other church groups and your other groups and everything else that some of the church groups are using them for bad stuff. Not good. Not good at all. But this energy is something that everybody needs to understand. And it's not going to go away. It's better to understand and how to protect yourself than not to know how to do that at all. So guys, I will leave that at this for right now. But do not let anybody talk you guys in. If you don't want to be in a group, don't be in a group. It's your choice. And don't think that that's the only way on all this. And like I say, there are other things and other dimensions out there that are a lot worse. Because one thing there is, I'll just put it this way. There are beings out there that are watching us. And there are some that stand with us. And if you're good, you'll definitely come into contact with these beings. Now, you probably will come into some contact with some bad beings too. But you need to understand that too. But anyway, guys, I thought I'd just make another video. And I got one more coming out here too. I did another remote view because I wanted to look way out there. And I kind of wanted to see, like, at the beginning of kind of like the stars, what I think I got something maybe newer that even a suspicious observer might even like to look at when it comes to like a supernova. But something a little bit different. Anyway, guys, just a little